Hi, everybody. We're talking about variations on the conditional today. So we're going to talk about the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. So what I want you to learn in this screencast is I want you to learn, first of all, how to write the variations of the conditional statement. And then what we're going to do is identify the variations of the conditional statement that are equivalent to each other. So let's look at those different forms to begin with. So the different forms are the conditional, the converse of the conditional, the inverse, and the contrapositive of the conditional. So the name of the variation is listed here. What it looks like in symbolic form is listed in the second column. And the third column is how you would say them out loud. So the conditional is if P then Q. The converse, you're switching the order. So it's if Q then P. The inverse is you're keeping the order but negating the terms. So it's if not P, then not Q. And with the contrapositive, you're switching the order and negating. So it's not Q, then not P. So remember, when we're writing the variations, it's going to be the order and the negation that is the change. So let's look at an example of a statement. And let's go through all the different variations. So I'm going to take two statements. The first statement is Jack Black is in the movie. Who doesn't love Jack Black? And Q, I will go see the movie. So the conditional statement that we're starting with is if P then Q, which with these specific statements is if Jack Black is in the movie, then I will go see it. The converse of that statement is the reverse order. So we started with if P then Q, the converse changes the order. So if I go see the movie, then Jack Black is in it. The inverse keeps the order but negates the statements. So if Jack Black is not in the movie, then I will not go see the movie. Then you have the contrapositive. The contrapositive switches the order and negates them. So if I do not go see the movie, then Jack Black is not in the movie. Okay, so those are the variations. You'll see a lot of those in the homework. Now what we want to do is we want to talk about which of these variations are equivalent to each other, if any. So here again is the summary of all of the different variations. So how are we going to determine which are equivalent? Well, remember from the previous screencasts, we need to look at the truth tables. If the truth tables are identical, then the statements are equivalent. So let's look at all of these truth tables. So here's the truth table for the conditional. The truth table for the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive are all here. So look at the answer columns. The conditional is the same as the contrapositive, true, false, true, true. The converse is the same as the inverse, true, true, false, true. So there you have it. The conditional and the contrapositive are equivalent, and so are the inverse and the converse. Now, these are not equivalent to each other, just the conditional is equivalent to the contrapositive, and the inverse is equivalent to the converse. Doesn't that make sense? Because isn't the converse the contrapositive of the inverse? Switch the order, negate the terms. Okay, so let's go back to our statements about Jack Black. So which of these statements are going to be equivalent? So the equivalent statements are in orange. These pair, and two other equivalent statements are in green. They are not all equivalent to each other. Make sure that's clear to you. But the conditional is equivalent to the contrapositive. So saying, if Jack Black is in the movie, then I will go see it, is equivalent to saying, if I do not go see the movie, then Jack Black is not in the movie. Same with the converse and the inverse. Hope that makes sense. Good luck. These kinds of statements can be a lot of fun. Have fun with it.